I just want to lift up your soul, child.
Hello, my beautiful people. It's your girl, Dictator Tatiana, coming with the divine karmatic disposition from the 9th dimension heavens. Let's get into this energy to see what healing needs to take place so you can build abundantly in its place. I tell you what you need to hear to heal so you can build abundantly. Heavenly Father is the head of our table, and this message is from Source, the Creator. So we pray that we receive the ears to hear, the eyes to see, the knowledge to know, and the wisdom to understand. As all spirit guides and angels of light come forth to create a shield of protection physically and spiritually, transmuting all darkness into a light source. Let this channeled message be clear, concise, and accurate with the collective energy. Holy Spirit, please bring forth the overall energy and turn our energy so we can intuitively be in sync with the message. Let's get into it. Tap, 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 tap in. Tap in from the east. Tap in from the north. Tap in from the west and tap in from the south. Hit that subscribe button and let the light get illuminating. What is the energy? Read it, and read it well. $12.22. Alright. 12:22. Take a bunch of hyssop. And this is hyssop right here. If you don't know what hyssop is. This is hyssop. This is hyssop oil though. There's a herb of hyssop that you can possibly buy. And I'm going to give you guys a link that you can go get some hyssop. But this is hyssop oil. So this says, Exodus 12:22. It says, take a bunch of hyssop. Dip it into the blood in the basin and put some of the blood on the top and on both sides of the door frame. This is in Exodus 12:22. So y'all remember when Elohim was giving instructions to the Israelites, telling them what they needed to do in order to be set free from bondage of the Egyptians. In order to be set free from the Egyptians when they were in bondage, right? So this is Elohim giving them instruction on what it is that they need to do so that he can lift the curse that had been put over them so they can be set free. And so that he can put everything in place so that way they can have a successful transition into the new world, right? A lot of people, y'all get too stuck into the new world. It's so many different transitions into the new world that happen before you even get into the New Testament. Don't let that go over your head either. But it says here that take a bunch of hyssop, dip it into blood in the basin, and put some of the blood on the top and on both sides of the door frame. So this has to do with death and rebirth and the renewal. The parsley power dynamic has to do with carrying properties of protection and purification. It is a magical herb full of vibrant prosperity and protection energy. It provokes lust and promotes fertility. It provokes lust and promotes fertility. And it provides lust protection. So this will keep you from lusting after things you shouldn't be lusting after. So just know that parsley. Most people think that parsley as a herb doesn't have any type of medicinal or magical properties to it that can help with certain ritualistic outcomes, but it can actually transform and transition your mentality, where it keep you from lusting. It keeps people from being able to provoke you by lusting, or through lust, I should say. And it helps to promote fertility. So also know that too. So you guys using it as a garnishment on your food, know that it has medicinal and also manifestation properties that could be used in order to transform your life. Brings in a lot of protection. That's what I'm getting from it. This one fell out, this deal power dynamic. And it's something that you're going to end up working with in the future, I feel. You're going to end up working with this deal power dynamic. And just to kind of talk a little bit more about it, it has to do with attracting abundance, dispelling negative energies. It's a very protective herb. I told you that you're going to be going through, your ancestors is sending a lot of protection. Like, you are protected. Like, when I say protected, you are protected in this season. Like, heavily. Whatever people are sending your way is like, it's instantaneously going back to them. So it helps to dispel jealousy. It helps to lull or soothe. It's a potent ally for strengthening the mind and enhancing concentration. Considered a good luck symbol to soothe. It's an Egyptian aphrodisiac. Okay? So, deal power dynamic. So, you're going to be working with deal herbs pretty soon, okay? And it's so crazy that we're talking about the deal herb, because I just got some deal, like the other day. I just got some deal, and I'm actually going to be using it to make like this spread with. Like, I'm going to use it to make a spread. So, get you some deal, because we're going to be working with some deal. I'm going to try to start coming up with different little potions and things that we can make to either be edible or something that can be used like in different candles and bath aids and certain things like that, because I feel like we're gonna be working with a lot of herbs now. We're gonna be working with a lot of herbs. So we about to start diving into herbs. So you need to get your herb, get ready to be getting your herb kit ready. So we're gonna be working with dill pretty soon, and this is pretty interesting. So this is what's to come. Okay? And it's crazy we was talking about cinnamon, but I already told y'all about what the cinnamon was. But this is one that's on right here that we left off at. Cinnamon power dynamic. The cinnamon power dynamic. And it's crazy that we left off on here, but I already told y'all what type of medicinal properties that cinnamon has and why it was so important. And it's crazy that they put it, the Holy, ancestors and the Holy Spirit brought it to my attention. It symbolized the holiness and magnificence of God. It strengthens wealth and wisdom. It brings strength, wealth, and wisdom, and it brings protection, prosperity, and healing. It enhances intuition and promotes spiritual awareness. So cinnamon. I told you guys, cinnamon is great. So add this to your herbal kit to work with. Cinnamon, okay? And we left off on cinnamon because I already told y'all about that. Now, I only want to pull 2 out of this deck, so, and then we're going to wrap this up. All right, they got a lot to say today. Ashwagandha powder. That's so crazy. I just got some ashwagandha powder too the other day. Hold up, I got to go get this stuff, y'all. I tell y'all, I do not be lying, and I didn't even open it. Hold up.
I'm coming back. I'm gonna come chill with you a little bit. Alright. So I told y'all that it's so crazy that certain things coming up, because that's how I be knowing that I be in tune. Like, some people, like, I've been learning a lot lately after certain things happen within like the past year, the past year and a half. I feel like that my spiritual awareness has been so heightened and enhanced to the point where I don't need to always, every single day, check in with my spiritual guides, because I always feel like they with me. I always feel like they guiding me, and I always feel like they telling me what I need to know. And I don't tap in most of the time, but it's like a automatic like response that certain things just kick in when it's supposed to, and it happen when it's supposed to happen. That's how I know that Elohim, my ancestors, Holy Spirit, my light beings that is riding for me is like definitely on my side, because I can't make it up. Everything just be happening in my life, and it be so in alignment that I just be like, it's 5 o'clock on the clock right now. 5 on the clock. I told y'all, like 5 o'clock on the clock. I'm trying to tell you, like, I be so in tune, like so in tune to the point, like, it's just like things just happen automatically for me. That's why I know that this is not something that I chose. It chose me. This is not something that I chose. It chose me. And people don't understand that, but I fought with Elohim for so long about this gift that I was given, because I didn't want it. I didn't want it because I knew what comes with it. And this calls for a lot of discipline. It calls for a lot of sacrifices. I did not want it, and it took me a long time to get to this point where I am in my life. And because of this, I go hard because of all of the changes that I made in my life, because of all of the things that I chose to give up in my life, because of all of the things that I chose to do that has brought me to a place where I can be comfortable in the place where I can pop my shit. You see what I'm saying? So I went to the store around Thanksgiving, and I was just automatically told to get deal. I'm like, why do I keep having this intuition to get deal? But I've been crazy on the deal. And it's so crazy how your body would crave certain things, but it's telling you what it needs. So I got me some deal, some freeze-dried deal. And I'm about to make a whole bunch of different dishes and stuff with this, on how to consume it and how to make it into different like medicinal properties, and like make it medicinal. Also, the ashwagandha powder, right? Got that too, because I know when I'm being called to do something. I don't need for the cards to tell me. This was done. I got this Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? I got this around Thanksgiving. Like, I don't need the cards, is what I'm telling y'all. I don't need the cards. I be already knowing I'm in alignment. That's why I be knowing. That's why it be funny when people try to play with my intuition. They try to play with my third eye. They try to tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about, or that I'm off key. And I be like, no, you cannot fool me. You cannot lie to me. You can lie to yourself, but you cannot lie to me. My intuition is on point. I spend too much time alone to myself for me not to know myself. And for me not to know certain energies when I come in contact with them, because I very rarely come in contact with certain energies and not know that there is a difference in my energetic frequency when I come in contact with it. Once you step into my auric field, I'm automatically aware. I'm automatically knowing. Why? Because I'm very particular about who I share my energy with. I know when people in my energy. I know when people trying to touch my life force. I know when people fucking around when they're not supposed to be fucking around. I know when people going around spreading my energy with other people. I know. And I cannot be lied to, bro. I cannot be lied to. Most people are like, she tweaking out. No, I'm just being honest. So if you ever try to fool me, just know that you're fooling yourself. But here it is. Ashwagandha powder. Ancestors want you to know that you need to get you some ashwagandha powder, okay? Why do you need ashwagandha powder? Because it brings strength and vitality. It's a herb that rejuvenates the body and the mind. It helps to lower cortisol levels. And it is a herbal remedy that is synonymous with witchcraft. But we're not going to worry about that. It is a herbal remedy that is synonymous with witchcraft, meaning that we're not looking at this in a dark way, but it can be if you want to. That's on you. However you choose to use your life force is on you. I ain't got nothing to do with that. But I'm telling you to use it for light. But it's a herbal remedy that can help to counteract some sense of curse or magic that has been put on you, your bloodline, whatever it may be. So if somebody has been cursing you, because people can't curse people. People like, oh my God, every time you say fuck you, every time you say duh, you know what I'm saying, I hope you die, every time you say, you know, with certain things that people say out their mouth, you ain't gonna never have shit, that's a curse that you speaking over somebody's life. Not trying to be funny, but it is. Because your mouth is a manifestation too. That's a curse. You speaking a curse over somebody's life. And if that person is already in a lower vibration, then it's going to impact their life more so than somebody who is in a higher vibration. If the person is in a higher vibration, it ain't going to do nothing but send that same energetic frequency that you sent their way back to you, because you cannot reflect to someone else a level that they are not on. Meaning that once you send something out to someone, if they're not on an energetic frequency to receive what it is that you sent their way, they can't receive it. Whether it be good or be bad. I can say, I hope you prosper all day long, but if you are not on a vibrational frequency to prosper, you will not prosper. Do you get what I'm saying? But you can work yourself up to a place of being able to receive that blessing that I just spoke over your life, but that does not mean that it's going to instantaneously happen. Catch my drift, all right? So what I'm saying to you is, if somebody speak a curse over your life and they like, you not going to become this, or you not going to do this, or you going to be this all your life, or whatever it may be, and that person is on a higher vibration, that curse that you just sent to them is going to come back to you. It's going to be like undeliverable address. It's going to come back to you because that person can't receive that energy that you just threw at them. So it's going to come back to you. It got to go somewhere. It's going to come back to you. It's going to come back to you. If you say, what else? If you say those things to somebody who is on a lower vibrational frequency that is already in a place of thinking, being, and seeing, and creating in that way, and you send that to them, that's fucked up. But at the same time, they're going to end up receiving it. Why? Because they're on an energetic frequency to receive what it is that you just sent their way. But how can they counteract that once they get to a place of wanting to do away with certain curses and stuff that can either be spoken over their life, but then you got some people who go deeper and they start diving into the occult, they start diving into messing with these herbal because once you start putting certain things together, you can start doing some things and changing some things having to do with the natural frequency of certain things, which is why you read in the Bible, or you might see certain things that might have, like if you a fashionista, they might tell you cannot wear linen and cotton together. You cannot wear linen and cotton together, or you cannot wear linen and wool together. Why not? Because they're on two different frequencies. But you hear a lot, you cannot wear linen and wool together. Why? Because the two frequencies cancel each other out. Why is it very imperative for you not to wear linen and wool together? Because if the two frequencies cancel each other out, that means that you're going to be vibrating at a low frequency all day while you have that linen and wool on your body. You got linen and wool on, and those carry the same vibration frequency. meaning together, they're coming together, is going to cancel each other out, which means that you're going to be vibrating at a low frequency and you're going to feel a sense of restraint all day long while you have that fabric on your body. I'm trying to tell y'all got to start studying shit. You got to start studying shit. You got to tap into the knowledge. So you got to understand why certain things just don't go together. Everything just don't go together. There's a reason why you can't go with that boy and that girl can't go with you. There's a reason why. It's a reason why. It's always a reason. Now, if you choose to seek that reason out, then you will be able to have a better understanding of it. But if you want to just be on the surface level and just do that toxic shit and try to just put it off as, oh, they speaking curses back and forth to each other, then you guys will never know why you're not meant to be together, or why you're not working out, whatever it may be. You know, you got to understand there's a reason for everything, right? But yes, ashwagandha powder came up. Skull cap powder. Now this is one I never heard before, and I'm definitely gonna look it up. This is one that I haven't. Yeah, I ain't gonna say I never heard of because I did look it up, but this is one that I've never touched bases with before. Skull cap powder. Skull cap powder. But it's also a powder. Helps to soothe the mind and ease the spirit, bringing us into a softer, more receptive awareness of the world around us. Treats menstrual disorders, nervousness, digestive issues, and kidney problems. Nourishes the mind, body in times of ongoing stress and mental fatigue. Skull cap. I say power because, you know, we working with, this is my reading, y'all. But it's a powder. It's like a medicinal powder you can get. Skull cap. It's a plant, right? Like you got the ashwagandha plant. It's a plant. All of these here are plants, but you can get it in powder form. But I say power because it's a power. Once you consume it, it's a power. It turns into a benefit for you. So it's a power, okay? Learn to use your powers, your resources, the natural resources. Everything is a natural resource, which is why they done made everything so industrialized, because they don't want you guys to get a hold of this information and this knowledge and to be able to transform your life. That's why it's very imperative for you to do your own studying. It's very imperative for you to know self. It's very imperative for you to jump in those books and to get a better understanding on what it is that you need to offer yourself, offer your family, and offer the world, okay? Mallow power. It's a powder. It can come in powder form too. It's a symbol of love that's playful, youthful, and passionate. It's a symbol of love that's playful, youthful, and passionate. Soothing effects on the respiratory system and the gastrointestinal tract. It's protective and healing, and it can cast out any spells that has been written over your life force, right? The mallow power. I call this mallow power, but it comes in powder form. It's a plant. Okay? So this is what your ancestors want you to be aware of. The daylily power. Daylily power, it talks about the expression of love. How to express love for lovers and forget sorrow. It has to do about referencing Tang that was between 618 and 907 BC, right? So it talks about expression for lovers and forget sorrow. It's a blessing of health, blessings of health. The daylily power, it's a plant, it's a flower, okay? And you can also get this in powder form too. Red clover power. You can also get this in powder form. It talks about restoring a calm inner knowing within the heart and blood, helping to reinstate the sense of self that has been disrupted. Wards off nasty and evil spirits It is also can be used for menopause symptoms, high cholesterol levels, and osteoporosis. Okay? Red clover power. You can get red cloves. You can get them whole, and you can also get it in powdered form. And you can also get this in like a herbal form. And when I say herbal form, I said cloves. So it can come whole if you wanted to. Red clover power. Okay? So these are the things that your ancestors really want you to focus on. And I'm going to pull from one other deck. I'm going to just, the number 9, your 9 of Pentacles. You already in the 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Hearts. You know what I'm saying? I say 9 of Pentacles and 9 of Hearts, meaning that your heart is open to other opportunities and certain things that come in your way. And why is that? Because you're 1 of 1. And we're talking about the opening up of the heart and the mind and the body. I say 9 of Pentacles, but it's 9 of... I say 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Hearts is a representation of also the 9 of Hearts. The 9 of Hearts is also a representation of the 9 of Pentacles, because you are in a sense of giving unto others. And it's gratitude that you hold for self, right? Remember we was talking about that? The 6 of Pentacles, right? We was talking about that. 666. We was talking about this. We was talking about standing in that energy. Standing in the 666 energy. In the energy of succession. Of looking to succeed that of which existed before you, and being able to take on the role and to be able to succeed once you come into a place of position, of power, of being able to show people that you can be the person that they can come to in order to be able to get knowledge, to be able to get positions, and to be able to experience a different flow in life, a different way of life, a different way of being, a different way of seeing. You're changing somebody's manifold, their sense of perception. Once you start changing people's perception, I'm trying to tell you, you're in a place of power. That's the power dynamic, right? If you don't know, you better ask somebody. All right, let's wrap this up. Let me get three Holy Spirit. Let me get 3. There it is. I'm hearing that the once you get to a place of you're okay with where you're at right now. I'm hearing development is very imperative. We've been talking about that all day, so I really don't have to really go into it with you. Harness is another one that's coming in, because when I told y'all hone in means to harness in on your resources, on your tools that has been given unto you. Learn to master. Remember I was talking about that? Strengthening your gifts, mastering what it is that is been given unto you. You know, by the powers that be. Harnessing in on those things. And one more Holy Spirit, thank you so much for bearing with me with this reading. And harnessing again. So it's very imperative for you to harness. Harnessing on what it is that you want. On what it is that you know you need to be doing. Harnessing in on moving forward. And also creating your own manifold. Remember I talked to you guys about isolation period. And being very grounded within self. Okay? It says to what? This one says to look out for insights. Look out for insights. How can you look out for insights when you in somebody else's energy? Why? Which is why you're being called to go into a season of isolation right now. Why are you being called to go into a season of isolation right now? Because you need to look at sudden insights. You need to be able to be in a place of observing. You cannot observe when you are the one being observed. Do you understand what I'm saying? You need to be present but absent. You need to be present but absent. We're going to just get one more. And again, I guess they've been very adamant about talking about harnessing, because right here you have to be open to being guided. You have to be open to guidance. You have to be open to guidance, or what? Or go on a hunch. Go on a hunch. What does it say? I'm trying to tell you, everything I be saying be in alignment. Go, 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 go. Period of isolation. 6 months. They want to know how you're moving. They feel they should have control and what, how, and when you're moving towards someone or something, as they all look to be a driving factor. But ignorance is what? Ignorance is bliss. And they live in it a lot. They live in it a lot. If they can't seem to shake what it is they know, that you're not checking for anyone right now but yourself. You're not checking for anyone but yourself, but they can't seem to understand it. They can't seem to wrap their hand around it. Their head around it. That all you are worrying about right now is being self-restrained and bossing up and proving it. Proving that you are who you say you are. That's all you're doing right now. And that calls for mastery. And I know I'm talking about doing something that 15 million other people doing. I'm talking about doing something that only you have been given a gift to do. That's self-mastery. That is called the master alchemist. Not everybody can travel the road of a master alchemist. Not everybody can travel the road of the master alchemist. No, they cannot. Some people have to choose to do what other 15 million people are doing, and that's fine. But make sure you know your place and know your position. Identify. Identify what your gut is telling you right now. Identify what your gut is telling you right now. Are you covering old territory here, or is your gut telling you something new? Identifying. In order to identify, one must do what? Go through a period of isolation. Go through a period of isolation. Most people going to try to tell you, oh my God, she only deal with her stuff. Oh my God. Don't nobody like her. Oh my God. Don't nobody want to be around her. But what the crazy thing is, you don't like nobody. You don't want to be around nobody. Why? Because you one-on-one. You one-on-one. And when people start getting around you, you start to see a whole bunch of copycats. A whole bunch of doppelgangers. A whole bunch of people want to be who you are. Do what you do. And say they on your same motion. Oh girl, I do what you do. I know how to do that. No, the hell you don't. You can't do what I do. You can't move how I move. You don't see what I see and you don't hear what I hear. We got two different modes of existence. And that's okay with me. I don't want to be like everybody else. And I hope you don't want to be like everybody else. But the fact that you're trying to be me lets me know that you're not one-on-one, babes. You're not one-on-one. You want to be one of me. And that's okay, because I got a whole bunch of identities. I can share one of my identities with you. Because you want to be one of me. But baby, I'm one-on-one. So you got to know who you are, right? But you also need to make sure that you show gratitude. You show gratitude. You show gratitude. Because what? I'm going to go back to it, because you're what? You're a spiritual healer, baby. You're a spiritual healer. Anybody that come in your life, you heal them spiritually, baby. You touch their soul. I ain't trying to touch nothing that has to do with upgrading you materially. No, I want to upgrade your soul. I want to upgrade your soul. I want to take you on a ride that you ain't never been on before. I want to open your soul to some shit that you ain't never seen before. I'm a spiritual healer, baby. Say it again. I'm a spiritual healer. Yes, you're a spiritual healer, baby. You heal the soul. You heal the soul. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody can heal the soul. Not anybody can touch the soul. A lot of people be surface level. And that's okay. But know your place. Know your place. Know your place. And it says that prophecy is being prophesized. It's somebody's life right now. Pray without ceasing. You're going into a season of being prayerful. A prayerful season. Yes. Hit them knees, baby. Pray. You're going to be praying a whole bunch of things off, because once people come in contact with what it is that I'm releasing out into the universe, they about to be doing the opposite. Huh? They about to be doing the opposite. Huh? What do you say? They about to be doing the opposite. Yeah? Yeah. They about to be doing the opposite. Because what did I say? I said this earlier too. Be in a declaration of receiving. That's what it was. I said, be in a declaration of receiving. Be in a declaration of receiving. Right? Because people are going to be declaring rejection against your life, against your manifestations. Be in a place of declaring to receive what it is that you are becoming. Because you're going to have people against you that's going to be declaring the rejection of all that it is that you are trying to call into your manifold. But what you have waiting for you is Wheel of Fortune. What you have waiting for you is the Wheel of Fortune. You know what I'm saying? Because you become it. You become it. The Knight of Wands is about the potential to be what you have yet to become. But you will become it. And you won't do it in the wrong way. Which is why you need this insight, right? Which is why you need this insight. Because you have to be able to develop. You have to be able to develop and ask yourself the big questions of what it is that you need to be discerning about in the season that you're going into in your life. Right? Because you are already in this place of the gratitude, right? You being grateful. You have a lot to be thankful about, right? With this 9 of Hearts, right? You carrying this identities and you making sure that you count your blessings. You see what I'm saying? You doing all these things, and then you also got your ancestors giving you pointers, giving you the tool kit that you need in order to succeed in the road that you are traveling down in your life right now, man. And I can't make this up, man. I can't make this up, man. And some people don't know what to do with that type of power. Some people don't know what to do with that type of knowledge. And they end up folding. Why they end up folding? Because they feel like they're overwhelmed, man. They don't know how to plan. They don't know how to prepare. They don't know how to organize. All they know how to do is copy. And when the copying stop working, what do? They become overwhelmed. And they become overloaded. It's an overconsumption of information that's flowing out there. And people just consuming shit left and right. They don't know what is or what isn't. They overfeeding themselves with information. Most information is not even conclusive to what it is that they need to be doing or seeing or hearing in this season. Which is why we, knowing what we know, we being told what we told, you being in connection with this tribe, you know what I'm saying, messing with me, in alignment with the Most High, and doing this self-healing and building journey with me, you also are being given the messages of the divine. Being told what it is that you need to know. So that way you can be in a place of being who you were called to be. And doing what you were called to do. Because it's this shift that is already happening. And it either is going to cause for you to self-destruct or to self-develop. For you to be in a place of the eternal realm. Of what is to come, and what shall be. Any blockages that you may have having to do with your grounding and your root chakra. Just know that we're going to work on that. You need to be doing your spiritual baths for the next 7 days. And you're going to include all these different herbs that I've been telling y'all about. The dill, the tarragon, the marjoram, the basil, the oregano, the sage, the feverfew, the parsley, the red clover, the daylily, the mallow, the skullcap, the ashwagandha. You're gonna consume it and digest it by eating it, or you either gonna spiritually consume it. And you can do that by doing spiritual rituals. But be careful if you don't know what you're doing. Because not everything goes together. And you will end up fucking some shit up. So just know what you know what you're doing. And don't think that you know what you're doing, and you don't know what you're doing, and then you're not spiritually called to do that. You'll fuck some shit up. You gotta have a spiritual ranking to tap into certain realms. And if you're not spiritually ranked to do that, you'll fuck some shit up. And sometimes you can fuck some shit up where you might end up fucking up your lineage. Fucking some shit up. You can go crazy in the mind. So be careful what you tap into spiritually. Be careful what you tap into. Because if you haven't been spiritually called to walk that path, you'll be fucking some shit up. You'll end up putting yourself in a place where you're not supposed to be. Because you wasn't spiritually ranked to be able to deal with certain things that you come in contact with. That's why certain airheads have to stay in airhead land. They have to live in the matrix. They have to live in the matrix. They can't step out of the matrix. Because they don't have the spiritual ranking to do so. They don't have no choice but to go along. They haven't been called to be the matriotic disruptors of this universe. Of this time and space. And dimension. So, because of that, because of the timeline that we own, make sure that you stay in your place. And you live life to the fullest. Whatever that may mean for you. That's how I say it. Whatever that may mean for you. Because people going to do what they do regardless. Right? They can't do for themselves what they can't do for themselves. They're not going to do for you what they can't do for themselves. Period. If somebody treating you good, it's because they treat themselves good. If somebody overspend on you, it's because they overspend on themselves. It ain't too much to that. If somebody be bargaining with you, it's because they be bargaining with themselves. If somebody sell themselves short, if somebody sell you short, it's because they sell themselves short. If somebody don't show up for you, it's because they don't show up for them goddamn selves. And that's just how life go. If they don't do it for themselves, they won't do it for you. Period. If they don't do it for themselves, they won't do it for you. Stop asking for people to show up for you. Stop asking for people to do certain things for you that they don't even do for themselves. It ain't gonna happen until they do it for themselves. This is about developing. This is about harnessing. This is about identifying. This is about strengthening your gifts and mastering to be whoever you were called to be or whoever you can manifest to be in this lifetime. Some people don't reach the heights of what they were called to be, and that's okay. Sometimes it's not okay. It's diabolical. But that's life. Sometimes it's very disappointing, right? And like I told y'all, and I hope y'all can do it with me, to learn how to express joy, man. Learn how to be joyful and be happy with what it is that is happening in your life. Whether you have somebody trying to cultivate that experience for you or you cultivating that experience for yourself. But most of all, cultivate the experience of joy by yourself. It ain't because something happened is the reason as to why you're joyful. It ain't because of the reason of what you receiving is what's making you joyful. You just joyful just because. Just because. And it's hard to be joyful just because. And especially in this day and time. It's definitely hard to be joyful just because. But to still try to put some effort into just being joyful just because, it'll make your heart a lot lighter. It'll make your heart a lot lighter. And it's not for nobody else, but it's for you. Because we're talking about longevity. Longevity, living life to the fullest. Longevity. Longevity is what we're working towards, man. Because the longer you live, the wiser you become. The wiser you become, I'm trying to tell you, the better life becomes. The better you see yourself. You hear yourself. You see what I'm saying? So we talked about a lot today. I gave y'all like 18 sessions within one. I'm always doing it for y'all. Sometimes I be feeling like I be over giving to y'all, which is why I have to step back and give back to myself, because I done over gave to y'all as, you know, I love y'all and that's what I've been called to do. But, you know, you gotta learn balance with this, right? So we gonna wrap this on up. I done had a time with y'all today. Y'all done took up a lot of my time today. And that's fine, because I ain't do this for y'all in a while. So it's like I try to touch bases with y'all, and we about to step into this new year. But just know I done already gave you the tools and resources that you need going into this new year. You just got to take what I've given you and what your ancestors have given you, what your spirit guides has given you, what the Holy Spirit has shared with you today, and use it to your advantage, man. Harness this power, harness these resources. You know, this knowledge that's been given to you. Knowledge is king, man. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is king. What you do with that knowledge, it means a lot. It means a lot. It means a lot to your next move. It means a lot to the choices that you make. And the question is, are you making it to better your life, or are you just fucking self-destructing, man? Are you self-destructing? You need to learn how to be present, but also be absent at the same time. It's about that go, 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 go season, right? The number 5. Grace comes from a sense of gratitude from the higher powers that be. It is the higher powers that be that puts this time barrier of self-restraint in place in order for you to self-reflect. And because of this, you have this sense of restriction of self, and you have this restriction of self, and also a restriction from others that puts you in this period of isolation. So that way you can better see, better hear, better be, and do what it is that you was called to do without restraint, without distraction, without acknowledgement, right? Because you don't need to seek validation, right? You don't need to seek acknowledgement outside of yourself. Seeking these selfish desires, because you don't know how to deal with the duality of self. You don't know how to accept the fullness of who you are, whether it be your dark or whether it be your light. Stand on that shit. Whoever you are, stand on that shit. You are not all light. Nobody in this world is all light, and that's what people need to understand. And God continue to keep showing y'all airheads over and over that nobody is all light. It's no way. But once the person has the ability to accept the duality of life, they have a better way of balancing life. Better way of accepting life for what it is. You're not perfect. Nobody is perfect. But it's those who out here that try to act perfect, who try to be perfect, that end up self-destructing. And they end up self-destructing all of those who they are leading outside of themselves. So once the leader falls, so does the followers. Point blank period. Hey, point blank period. Once the leader falls, so does the followers. Be careful not to self-destruct. It's about self-empowerment. Creating that sound barrier of being able to just hear, see, be, and do within self. And not listening to nobody else but your goddamn self and your higher powers that be. Because that's all you need. You don't need nobody else. You don't need no other mere human being to tell you or validate nothing that has to do with you. You are who you are. They can either accept it or they don't. It don't matter. But you need to do what you need to do, and you need to show up for who you say you are, and do what you say you was going to do, and be who you say you was going to be. And stop looking up to other people's expectations of you. Because again, you will self-destruct. And you'll be living outside of yourself. And that's not what we're called to do. This was one hell of a reading. I hope this sends y'all into y'all new year, giving y'all a place of peace, abundance, prosperity, and the tools and resources that you need in order to be able to harness, and identify what it is that you need to do in order to be able to bless up and to call in what it is that you have been calling into your manifold. May you create your own existence within self to be who you were called to be and to do what you were called to do. Love and blessings, peace and blessings. Deteja Tatiana, the mother of restoration. All glory to the Most High. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Until next time.